If you've ever worked with Azure, you have absolutely run into this question. Should I use a network security group, or do I need the full Azure Firewall? They kind of feel like they do the same thing, but honestly, they're worlds apart. And in the next few minutes, we're going to make the difference so clear you'll never get confused again.
And hey, that's a promise. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly which one to grab for your project and why. Let's dive right in.
All right, first up, let's talk about the Network Security Group, or NSG for short. And the best way to understand an NSG is to think of it as your own personal local security guard.
So, at its heart, an NSG is really just a list of rules. It's the most basic kind of firewall you can get in Azure, and it acts as that first line of defense for your virtual machines or maybe a whole subnet.
Yeah, this security guard analogy is just perfect. Picture a single office building. The NSG is that guard standing right at the front door with a clipboard, checking IDs for anyone trying to get into that one specific building. It's super localized and it has a very, very specific job.
Okay, so here's how that guard actually does its job. You can assign it to a whole group of machines in a subnet, or you can get super specific and assign it to just one machine's network card. And its rules are really simple. It's just allow or deny. It makes that decision based on what we call the 5-tuple. Basically, where the traffic is coming from, where it's going, which ports it's using, and the protocol, like TCP.
And here's a perfect real-world example. Let's say you have a simple web server. You can tell your NSG, hey, you are only allowed to let in web traffic on port 80. Anything else? Block it immediately. It's simple, it's effective, and it's straight to the point.
Okay, so we've got our local guard covered. Now let's zoom way out and talk about the big guns, Azure Firewall. We're not talking about a guard at one little gate anymore. Oh no, this is the central security fortress for your entire kingdom.
You got to pay attention to the words here. Cloud native, intelligent, threat protection. This is a whole different beast. It's a powerful, fully managed service that's built to protect your entire network, not just one little piece of it.
So if the NSG is the guard at one building, the Azure Firewall is the main security checkpoint at the single entrance to the entire corporate campus. Every car, every truck, every person trying to get onto that campus has to go through this one, highly intelligent, central checkpoint.
And its features are just on another level. It's stateful, which is a fancy way of saying it's smart enough to remember entire conversations. So if your computer starts a conversation, the firewall automatically knows to let the reply back in. It can also make rules based on which application is talking, not just port numbers. And it has built-in threat intelligence from Microsoft, so it's always being updated to block the newest bad stuff on the internet. Plus, you can log and see absolutely everything that goes through it.
All right, so you've met our two contenders. In this corner, the local guard, the NSG, and in the other corner, the central fortress, Azure Firewall. Now it's time for the main event, the head-to-head showdown.
So when it comes right down to it, how do you actually decide between these two? Let's break down the most crucial differences, side by side.
This table really tells the whole story. First up, level. NSG is micro. It's for a subnet or even a single machine. Firewall is macro. It's for the whole shebang. Cost is a huge one, right? NSGs are totally free. Azure Firewall is a paid service because you're getting all that extra intelligence. The rules? Basic allow/deny versus super advanced smart rules. And the use case is the real clincher. NSGs are amazing for small apps or some basic filtering. But the firewall? That's what you need for your serious enterprise-level workloads that have to be secure.
Theory is great and all, but let's make this really practical. When, in the real world, would you actually pick one over the other? Let's walk through two super clear scenarios.
Here we go. Scenario 1. You're just spinning up a little personal website, maybe a dev environment. An NSG to open up the web port is all you need. It's simple, it's fast, it's free. Done. But scenario 2. You're building a banking application. You've got multiple networks, sensitive customer data, you have compliance rules to follow. Well, in that case, it's not even a choice. You absolutely must use Azure Firewall. The cost of the firewall is nothing compared to the cost of a security breach. Look, if you forget everything else I've said today, just remember this one thing. This is the golden rule right here. Got a small project? Think NSG. Got something big, something enterprise, something that's in production and can't fail? You need Azure Firewall. Period. And just like that, the confusion is gone. See? It really just boils down to scope and smarts. The local guard versus the central fortress. You now have the mental model to make the right call every single time. So, what's next? What other complex Azure or DevOps topic is still kind of that black box for you? Is it VNet peering? Or maybe the endless maze of Azure load balancers? Drop a comment below and let us know what we should break down next. Thanks for watching.